Hello, Miss Longoria. Dr. Matthews here. Hey, the earlier email I sent you did not explain the report that you're due, the student writing report. Instead, it just went into the discussion and the journals and whatnot, which is beside the point. So I want to take this opportunity to kind of walk through with you what I'm looking for in that 6-page report. First, let me take myself off the screen. Okay. So as you scroll down, actually you won't have probably access to the syllabus, and that's okay because I can just shoot you the snippet of it. It's not that critical. But in the syllabus itself, when you scroll down to where it talks about the assignment itself, the 6-page reflection paper is just going to include a description of the agency that you work for and its placement in the criminal justice system. The reason why I use that is because there's a number of folks who are with agencies that are not law enforcement agencies. They might be, in one case, it's an attorney general's office, and in another case, they're working with the victim advocacy, and there's a variety of other situations where students are doing their internships. So I didn't want to just make it specific to say it had to be a law enforcement office or a probation, parole, or prison or whatnot. The observations and experiences that you learned during the participation of the internship. So essentially that's just kind of a rehash, a regurgitation if you like, a compilation of what you did or what you provided in your journals. And you're just going to explain and maybe flesh out a bit what was it that you learned. In the journals, one of the key instances there is, if you've listened to that video, is that I'm looking for how what you learned at Park was applicable to what you did during your internship. And so to take that to the next level, or take that a little bit further, in your paper, your reflection paper, you're going to be expanding on that a bit. Not just that you went to work and you were able to apply the basic tenets of law enforcement, or that you went to the internship process and you saw how the criminal justice process itself does work from top to bottom, but how that relates to what it is that you ultimately want to do. And then you want to have a brief discussion of the positive and negative experiences in your internship. Everybody's internship was a little bit different this semester. There were several people who had extremely positive, very high praised internships on both sides. The internship supervisor really enjoyed having the student, and the student themselves really enjoyed doing the internship. There were a few who didn't have quite the same experience, but fortunately they made it through and they still learned from that experience. So if you can elaborate on that, what it was you actually got out of the internship. And the reason why I start with a positive is because there's always negatives. There's always things that could be done better, or in your opinion might have been done better or differently, and to enhance that internship experience. And so I kind of like to leave that for last. And then finally, how this internship fits into your coursework at this point in your university experience. This might be the last class you need before you graduate. It might be, as is the case for at least one or two of the students, a class that fits in their schedule, and so that's why they're doing the internship at this time. Otherwise, there may be some other reason why you're doing the internship. There are several of the students who are working near or at the same place that they're doing their internship, which is very handy because they get on-the-job training or additional training, and they get college credits for it, and they get evaluated for it, and they get to take a kind of an unbiased look at their own organization or business from the perspective of a student or somebody else who doesn't have the inner workings down pat with regard to that agency or that organization. As a result, they can actually provide some really good feedback to the decision makers and to the supervisors, managers, the leadership of that organization. What was it that they, an outside observer, saw or witnessed, or what are some areas of interest that could be enhanced or improved or bettered? And that's kind of what we're looking for with regard to your 6-page paper. Now, unless you share it with your supervisor, they probably won't ever have access to it. I've not yet had any supervisor from any of the internships ever request knowing what was written in the 6-page reflection paper. But if they did, I'm sure it would be no problem to provide that to them. What I would suggest that you do is that once you've fulfilled this requirement, just shoot a copy to your supervisor. I'm sure that they want to have feedback. It's not just a one-way situation where you show up, you do something, you leave. But hopefully, while you were going through the process, you picked up some information, you learned some things, and those things are of value that you can pass back on to the agency that you're working for. So that's pretty much all there is to that paper. I do want you to use as many examples as you like. You don't have to have any. It's APA style, but I'm not going to hold you hard and fast to the APA rule, because this is truly more of a reflection of what it was that you did, and not a paper trying to convince somebody of somebody, or convince somebody of something, or a decision paper, or a white paper, or something along those lines. This is merely a reflection of your internship experience. So with that, I'm going to close. If you have any questions, you can feel free to email me. I do get all the emails that you send to Park. I don't know that I hope that you get all the emails that I send to you to your Gmail account or to your Yahoo account. Thanks a lot for your time and your attention, and I wish you all the best. Talk to you later.